Too much, but it's never enough. I'm searching. Test.
Breaking hearts, showing scars, leave me ripped apart. Cold to touch, not too much, but it's never enough. I'm searching inside, but there is nowhere to hide. Breaking hearts, showing scars, leave me ripped apart. Cold to touch, not too much, but it's never enough. I'm searching inside, but there is nowhere to hide. Breaking hearts, showing scars, leave me ripped apart. Cold to touch, not too much, but it's never enough. I'm searching inside, but there is nowhere to hide. Shifting words, fell in love, and now I'm left with wanting. It's haunting. The poison lips sinking ships, leaving me in the ocean, and I drowned with the tide. Giving in like a death by 1,000 concessions. Your confession. You never loved me for who I am, just what you wanted from me. Talking like strangers, wrapped in a anger. It's going down. We'll end up back, yeah, sooner or later. What comes around goes around. Breaking hearts, showing scars, leave me ripped apart. Cold to touch, not too much, but it's never enough. I'm searching inside, but there is nowhere to hide. There's nowhere left to hide. There's nowhere left to hide. From head to my toes, I can feel it in my bones. When I take it down, I know I'm never letting go. When I think I regret, now you want me to forget. Every night I'm making lovers meaningless sex. Now my heart is in the palm of your rain, your satisfaction. Wanna quit fucking, now you're looking for some action. Better run quick or just quit, chasing what you're after. Talking like strangers, wrapped in a anger. It's going down. We'll end up back, yeah, sooner or later. What comes around goes around. Breaking hearts, showing scars, leave me ripped apart. Cold to touch, not too much.
You do not have to trust her to love her. That is a myth. Female haters want to fuck me.
Repeat after me. Flush your condoms.
And male haters want to beat me. It's that simple.
Wait a minute. You actually thought you were the only guy she was fucking?
But she told me she loved me.
Live from Philadelphia, your man, Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 447th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. It is Wednesday, May 8th, 2019. I've just returned from the 21 Convention Patriarchs Edition down in Orlando, Florida. Spectacular event. Once again, Anthony Dream Johnson outdoing himself. Had a lot of great guests. Met a lot of people for the first time. Got to rub elbows with the likes of Rollo Tomasi. Ed Lattimore was there. Alexander AJ Cortez. The list goes on and on. I had the privilege of hosting the Red Man Group live twice. And, you know, even though I'm not a father, it was still pretty cool that Anthony allowed me to host those Red Man groups. Give me 2 seconds. Because, of course, we know that Windows computers are always trying to sell you something here. 2 seconds, guys. I just need to get this antivirus protection thing off the screen. For fuck's sake. There we go. There we go. All right. That's much, much better. I don't want to be a an Apple Macintosh commercial. I don't want to be a, because they're certainly not paying me to talk about Macs. But I'll tell you what, dude, Windows computers are extremely frustrating. I actually have two systems. The one that pushes this screen is a Windows computer. Of course, you get a Windows computer, you get all the preloaded bullshit on there. But the show must go on. I appreciate your patience. Had some technical snafus going on. We are multi-streaming live to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So however you are watching us, wherever you are watching, thank you for making the Sharpe reality a part of your day. So last week, I started what was called Build Your Woman Week. We've talked about vetting females, setting boundaries and expectations, realistic boundaries and expectations. I think we got through 3 out of 5 shows. I've still got 2 more. Today is the first of the last 2 shows that I'm going to do on Build Your Woman Week, and that is sex. We're going to discuss, I'm going to answer the age-old question, does size matter? How to be unforgettable to any given woman, even though you're not the biggest or the best. Then, of course, in the end, we're going to talk about how to dominate a woman in bed. All women love rough sex. All women love to be physically dominated sexually at the hands of a man. Don't let him tell you any differently. But we're going to start today with why you should never give a shit about a woman's needs in bed. And the reason I decided to do this particular segment is that conventional wisdom tells us, since we were little boys, that you have to please a woman in bed if you want to keep fucking her, right? The more you satisfy her needs between the sheets, the better the odds that she'll stick around. After all, a man who has the loyalty of a woman must mean he's making her squirt every single time he fucks her, right? That's a negative, guys. Believe it or not, sex is not as important to women within the context of a sexual relationship as it is to men. Don't get me wrong, guys. It is important. But in terms of where it ranks on a woman's list of priorities when it comes to her man, it is much further down that list than most of us might think. So long as her man, so long as her boyfriend, her husband, her significant other keeps her in line, demands her best, makes her feel attractive, makes her feel protected, and increases her social status, as far as she's concerned, great sex is just an added bonus. His inability to make her squirt or shake, that's not a deal breaker, provided everything else is rock solid. I said a man who's an A+ at one thing is a man who's going to fuck better looking women than a man who's a B- at everything. So if your value is not high, if you don't give her social value, if you don't make her feel something emotionally, this doesn't mean get into your emotions. This doesn't mean connect with her on an emotional level. But as long as all of those things are in place, you're handling her like you should, you're holding her accountable, you're being a man, you're being selfish, doesn't matter if you fuck her like a porn star or not. She's not going anywhere. Now, all of that said, men need to stop caring so much about a woman's needs in bed and realize that not fucking her like a porn star every single time is perfectly okay. We see it all the time, man. Movies and television tells us, society, the culture tells us that to keep a woman happy, one of the 8 million ways, one of the 8 million things we have to do, that we have to get perfectly right, is to hit her G-spot every single time with every single stroke and give her the best sex ever, every time. This is 100% fucking false. And I'm going to give you 4 of the top reasons why that is. Number 1, it is needy and supplicating. Gentlemen, females despise men who worship them sexually. Yes, they'll give you thumbs up when they post their tits on Instagram, when they post ass pictures on Facebook, social media, etc., etc. But those men who say shit like, "Oh, I'll drink your bathwater," wifey material, they despise those guys. Nothing turns off a woman like a man looking up from eating her pussy and asking her, am I doing it right, baby? Was that good? What can I do better? Women want a man who takes charge in bed. And what does this mean? Well, it means not taking direction from her about how to fuck her. Asking what she likes or how she wants it. Guess what position that puts you in, guys? That puts you in a submissive state. And if it puts you in a submissive state, it invariably puts her in a dominant state because you are asking for orders directly or indirectly, which is a feminine trait. Girls don't want to fuck feminine men who are overly concerned about whether or not she's enjoying him eating her out. They want to be fucked by masculine men who flip her over, smack her ass, pulls her hair, fucks her the way he wants to fuck her. Trying too hard, gentlemen, to please your woman in bed, that's like failing a shit test you didn't even deploy. Now, some men out there would disagree with what I'm saying, but I can only speak from my personal experience. I'm selfish as fuck in bed, as you guys will discover later on today. I'll cover this later. And I can't remember the last time I licked a vagina. And it has yet to cost me a woman. A woman has never said to me, Donovan, we are done because you don't eat me out. Donovan, we are done because the sex just isn't good enough. Listen, I'm sure I've had fuck buddies, friends with benefits, who ghosted on me. But as far as I know, not giving a shit about a woman's needs in bed has never cost me female loyalty. Women respect selfish men. They respect sexually selfish men infinitely more than sexually generous ones, period. The second reason why you should never give a shit about a woman's needs in bed is that it doesn't do anything for you. Let's go back to the licking pussy. Let me ask you a question, guys. What's that doing for you? I can tell you what it's not doing. It's certainly not keeping your dick hard unless you're licking her pussy and you're down there stroking it. To be honest with you guys, the only thing that eating pussy gets you is a wet beard and pubes in your teeth, neither of which keeps your dick hard, which is her job and hers alone. Prolonged foreplay, kind of the same way. Now, listen, man, if that's your thing and it gets you off and it gets you warmed up, dude, go for it. But spending a half an hour trying to find all of her erogenous zones, that's a waste of fucking time if you're putting in way too much effort, guys. And putting in too much effort between the sheets in order to please her is supplicating and approval seeking. Now, some men out there, they like to proclaim how much they love eating pussy. Guess what, guys? I'm here to tell you, most of the time, they're full of shit. Yes, there are men out there who genuinely get off on licking a woman's vagina, but most of us don't really like it, myself included. Eating pussy is simply a means to an end. Men think that in order to get a blowjob, we gotta eat pussy. Wrong again. If a female is attracted enough to you, she'll suck your cock whether you go down on her or not. And listen, females love sucking the cocks of men they love and respect. And these men don't have to do a goddamn thing to get head but pull their dicks out and say, suck my dick, or just shove it down her throat. I'm here to tell you. Guys, you got to stop listening to these bitches out here telling us that we have to give head to get head. They know damn well they've gone down on more men than men have gone down on them. They know this to be true. Number 3, the third reason why you should stop giving a shit about a woman's needs in bed is that most of a woman's satisfaction in bed is tied to your satisfaction. I'm going to give you guys 2 scenarios. I've actually discussed this with Alan Roger Curry on multiple occasions. I'm going to give you two scenarios here. Scenario number 1. Man fucks a woman. He makes her orgasm, gives her the best sex she's ever had, but she doesn't come. She doesn't orgasm. I'm sorry, rather, he doesn't come. He doesn't bust the nut. He doesn't orgasm. Scenario number 2, man fucks woman. She doesn't orgasm, but he blows multiple loads. Guys, I'm here to tell you, 11 out of 10 women would choose the second scenario. And the reason for this, I will say it again, is that 95% of a woman's satisfaction in bed is tied to her man's satisfaction, and she knows it. Guys, today's women, they talk all this shit about how men have to make them squirt, about how men have to give them great sex in order to keep them interested. But just, again, based on my personal experience, and you guys can talk to the guys out there, nothing could be further from the truth. The fact is that if she is unable to bring a man to orgasm, that sexual encounter, that's a failure as far as she's concerned. She has failed you. If she's sucking your dick and you can't stay hard, she'll take it personally. The world stops. If you have to fuck her for 45 minutes before you blow your first load, she's wondering, well, what the fuck is wrong with me? If she thinks for 1 second that you are not turned on by her or have a strong sexual attraction to her, she's asking herself, dude, what is wrong with me? Why does he not want to fuck me? Why does he not stay hard? Why does he not have an orgasm? Why does he have to fuck me for an hour before he blows his first load? This actually happened to me quite a bit. And one girl I was fucking, she actually ended our arrangement because she didn't think that I was as sexually attracted to her as she was to me. So take a look at your screen, guys. I'm going to show this text thread. This was actually back, I want to say right around 2000 and, let's look at the date here. Yeah, 12/1 of 2016. It was in December of 2016. Okay, I think I started fucking her, I don't know, like the beginning of November. I think I met her on Halloween. We were fucking for a month anyway. So take a look at your screen, guys. And I'm going to read aloud. I'm going to read along here for guys who are listening to the replay. So she says to me, answer the phone, we need to talk. I text her back. I say, I'm busy. What's up? Here's what she says. She says, I don't think we should see each other anymore. I like hanging out with you and all, but I don't feel like you're attracted to me. Now, of course, I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. So she answered. She was like, well, what are you questioning? I said, attraction. I told her, look, sweetie, I don't fuck ugly chicks. Her response, I know, but you take so long to come, it makes me think you're not like super hot for me or something. I don't know. I just want to feel like you want me really badly. I ain't complaining, she continues, because a lot of guys are like 2 pump chumps, but you last almost too long. And I'm beginning to think, let me scroll down here on my notes, and I'm beginning to think it's because you aren't hot for me. I don't know. To me, listen, no skin off my backside. I said, okay, no problem. It's been fun. Take care. And so she's okay, good. So you're not mad then? And then, of course, I played with her a little bit. I was like, oh, I'm bawling my eyes out. She, LOL. Her response to that was, I don't want to make you think that I didn't like hanging out with you. Like, I love the sex, but if I come 3 or 4 times and you haven't yet, after fucking for that long, it just makes me think that you're not hot for me. It's weird, I know, but I want to feel lusted after, and you don't make me feel that way, I said, yeah, that makes perfectly sense. I said, all right, well, take care. Then, of course, she's like, thanks for understanding, blah, 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 blah. If you're ever in, the area in Vegas that she was living in, she's like, I'll even hook you up with a free meal and drinks. Don't be afraid. A stranger sexy. She worked in the kitchen. So that's why she offered. But guys, again, Michelle loved the sex that we had together. I made her orgasm all the time. She was a silent shaker. And the funny thing was that sometimes she would apologize for coming too soon. She'd be like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It was fucking weird. Like, sweetie, if you come and I don't, the sex ends after I blow my load. It doesn't end after you blow your load. I don't know. It was some weird shit, right? But because it took too long in her mind to blow my first load, she took it to mean that my attraction to her wasn't as strong as she needed it to be. I gave her great sex, guys, but because my stamina, I guess, essentially gave her sort of a complex and made her feel unattractive, she ended our arrangement. Now, on the flip side, if I was busting all over the place while she failed to orgasm, I might have kept fucking her for a little longer. But the bottom line here, guys, is that women are infinitely more concerned with her man satisfaction than her own. So, like I said, there's no need to be stressing out about whether or not you're doing it right. Number 4, the fourth and final reason I'm going to point out in terms of why you should never give a shit about a woman's needs in bed, why you should quit worrying about her needs in bed. This is biology. Guys, listen, the biological purpose of life is procreation. A woman become pregnant is contingent upon male ejaculation. No sperm, no baby, guys, right? Now, we've all heard different theories on, maybe increasing the odds of pregnancy. Like, fuck her doggy style, standing up while fucking. I think there's some theories out there about fucking in different positions to get the certain gender of the baby. Listen, one that seems to be making the rounds here as of late, that in order to increase the odds of getting a woman pregnant, is female orgasm. In other words, the world is telling us that a woman having an orgasm increases the chance of pregnancy. Now, my instincts tells me that this is complete and utter bullshit. This is designed to make men yet even more supplicating during sex. But I'm not a scientist, so, I'm not certain as to whether or not there's any truth to the statement, but I do know this, like I said earlier, no sperm, no baby. The bitch can be, listen, she can shake and squirt all over the place. If I don't bust the nut, you ain't getting pregnant. Right? Again, a female can squirt and shake all night long, but if a man doesn't blow his load, she's not having the baby. That's all there is to it. And I'll put it to you this way. Female ejaculation, a female orgasm, were a requirement for pregnancy. Let's keep it real. Most of us probably wouldn't be here anyway. Now, another reason that biology dictates that we not care about a woman's sexual satisfaction is that pregnancy for women validates her sexual allure. Think about it this way. It's just like a hard cock in her mouth during a blowjob. That is a continuous validation of her desirability and his arousal. A baby in her stomach is the same thing. A woman with child, a female who is pregnant, right? A pregnant female, her belly is proof that she was sexually attractive. She was sexually attractive enough for a man to fuck her enough to get her pregnant. Women love this. Look at me, I'm pregnant. They've got that motherly glow. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. Yes, motherhood and her opportunity to, be able to, nurture and take care of her offspring, take care of her baby, that contributes to that motherly glow. But make no mistake about the fact that in the back of her mind, she knows that when people see her stomach, she knows that when people see that she's pregnant, they know that a man lusted after her enough to fuck her raw enough times to put a baby in her. There are only a few times a month that a woman can get pregnant, guys. Obviously, when she's ovulating, that is, the odds are great. But at the end of the day, if Mother Nature doesn't give a shit about a woman's needs in bed, then neither should you. You guys have to keep in mind, before you go off and start talking shit, I'm not telling men to go out of their way to make sex unenjoyable for women. Listen, it's my assertion that doing that takes just as much effort as giving too many shits about her satisfaction. But making it your mission to be her best sexual partner that she's ever had, guys, that's a fool's errand, man. You're not going to do it. So while you're down there slurping away, she's thinking, why the fuck? Why is this guy trying so hard? All I did was take off my clothes and suck his dick for a few minutes. I wish he'd hurry up and come so I can suck his dick. Then after a while, guess what? She'll lose that urge to deep throat your cock because you're acting like a supplicating bitch boy who is indirectly placing her value above his. That's right, guys. Eating pussy places her value above your own. Plus, you have to understand this too. No matter what you do to pleasure a woman, no matter what you do to please a woman, she either wants more, right? She starts complaining about what you are or aren't doing, or both. It's not worth it, gentlemen. Women never know what the fuck they want or need. It's a moving target. So quit trying to hit the moving target. Fuck that. Be selfish in bed. Do what the fuck you want. Pay no attention to her needs. I stated before that paying no attention to what she wants or requests has never cost me a woman ever. You guys adopt that same mentality. You'll see. You will see. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you start adopting this mentality, you're going to see that the girls you're fucking are going to they're going to start to become more drawn to you. Mark my words on that. On the other side of the break, I am going to answer the age-old question, does size matter? We're back in a few. Welcome back to TSR Live on a Tuesday. Good to have you guys back today. Of course, for those of you just joining us today, just returned from the 21 convention, Patriarchs Edition down in Orlando. Spectacular event, man. I cannot wait until the next one. The next one is actually in Poland. I'm not going to be able to go to that one because I've got some pretty serious family stuff that's going to go down in July. But I will most definitely be at the one in October back down in Orlando. So I'm very, very much looking forward to that. I'm going to put the links to both events in the comments section of this video. Guys, I cannot tell you how important it is to get on my email list. At some point, I will get deplatformed. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Guys who do what I do are always in the crosshairs. We're always in the line of fire, and eventually my channel is going to get deleted. You can count on it. But to make sure you always have access to my content, get on my email list. So that when the inevitable happens, you'll know where to find me, when to find me, and how to access my content. All you got to do is go to my website and scroll right to the bottom. Plug in your email address. It doesn't take any time. It takes no time. 2.76 seconds, depending upon how fast you can type your email address. Dude, just copy and paste. Just copy and paste. If you want to support the show, you could purchase tactical soap through my affiliate link. I'm putting that in the chat. It's also in the description section of this video as well. If you're also looking to chill out, maybe sleep a little bit better, Good Vibes CBD oil is definitely the way to do that. My guy, Ed Lattimore, put me onto that a while back, and it is as advertised. That is for sure. So, now I'm going to talk about something that's been discussed for decades by both men and women, and that is dick size. Does size matter? Does the size of a man's dick directly correlate with a woman's sexual satisfaction? Now, when we talk about penis size, what we're really asking is if women prefer big dicks as opposed to regular sized or average dicks. When a man concerns himself with his dick size, he never asks himself, man, am I too big? Am I small enough to be able to fuck her? No. He asks himself, am I big enough? So the question, does size matter? What it's really asking is, do all girls like bigger cocks? Do all girls have better sex with men who have huge dicks? Now, the reason I mention this is that any man, as far as I'm concerned, who is fixated on the size of his dick, what he is really fixated on is my cock big enough to give women great sex? Can I give a woman orgasms with this dick size? Am I big enough? Now, back in the day, dick size wasn't really talked about too much by men or women. Back when most women didn't slut around, a man's penis size really didn't matter. It was of little to no consequence. But now we've got a combination of things. We've got a sex-obsessed culture. We have unprecedented access to pornography, and we'll get to that later. And then, of course, we have, the sheer abundance of sluts walking around. Dick size is talked about by everybody. Guys, I'm telling you, man, it's not abnormal to overhear a couple of sluts talking about dick size out loud without even trying to lower their voices. So the answer to the age-old question, does size matter? It isn't complicated at all. But there are many layers and many factors involved. Let's start with this one. This we're going to ask the ladies straight from the horse's mouth. It's common knowledge in the Western world. It's common knowledge in the United States, the Western Hemisphere, that taking relationship advice from women, that's a bad idea. Bad idea. Women shouldn't even take relationship advice from other women. When it comes to dick dimensions, the female perspective, oh, by the way, that is the most valuable because they're the ones getting fucked. Right? It doesn't make any sense to talk to a man about whether or not size matters. No, you got to ask the ladies. Now, another important reason for their point of view is that dick preference doesn't really leave much room for subjective analysis. They either like certain cocks or they don't. It's that simple. Now, there are other elements that factor into good sex versus bad sex for women, but the simple fact of the matter is, gentlemen, is that no amount of game, no amount of money, no amount of fame, no amount of status, physical stature, etc., it's not going to make a roll of quarters feel like a cucumber. This is not going to happen. So I want to take a look at a few screen grabs from an article that surveyed 67 women on dick size. And we're going to see what comes straight from the horse's mouth. So if you're looking at your screen, and I'll read these aloud here for guys who are listening on the replay, guys who are listening on Patreon, my TSR STFU, for you guys. So let's look at the first one. So Meryl, who is 28 years old, says, quote, a super small, soft dick isn't going to do anything, but a large dick hurts, usually. So, like, it just needs to be normal sized, hard as it, and he's into it. Right. So as long as he has a normal sized dick, and he's hard, and he's into it, as long as his dick is hard, as long as he wants to fuck her, normal is good for it. Jennifer, 28 years old, says, quote, it doesn't matter to me as long as it isn't too big or too small. I've said this before. To me, I've said this before. Unless you're in the top or bottom 1%, size doesn't really matter. Allie, who's 22 years old, she says, I don't want to be scared of it. Average is your friend. Let's look at some more. I'm just going right down the list here, guys. Ashley is 26. Goes into a little more details here. She says, quote, depends on a lot of factors. For me, it matters because I'm short. So a dick that's too big, in other words, she means a dick that's long, definitely hurts in the ow, you're hitting my stomach kind of way. But one that's too small, small enough to get lost in his pubic hair, doesn't do anything for me. Legit asked, is it in? I feel sorry for that guy. But essentially, it comes down to whether or not he knows how to use it. Cliche, I know, but it's the truth. This is, hey, listen, it's not the size of the sword, it's the motion in the ocean. We've heard that argument. Eve, who's 28 years old, says, yes, my ex had a very short one that was thick, and it did nothing for me. Had a friend of mine, her name was Ginny, she called it a short fatty. No, I do not have a short fatty. She's actually talking about her husband at the time, who she is no longer married to. Surprise, surprise. Take a look at some more here. Lacey, who's 29 years old. Actually, I can't see the name of the chick there, but whatever, it doesn't matter. She's a fucking bitch. This girl says, I honestly can't really tell if it's bigger or smaller than the last guy or what's quote average. I mean, I would notice if it was huge or tiny, I think, but that's never happened to me. They all look pretty much the same, and I think the difference is if a guy knows how to fuck. Lacey, who's 29 years old, says it doesn't matter as much as whether a guy is good in bed. Rachel, who's 26, says, quote, one guy was too big. It felt like someone trying to fit their entire body inside me. He was literally like, if someone was like, here to let me put this jar of tomato sauce inside you, geez, I'd love to, but no, I fucking physically can't. Tiffany, who looks like she's 20 years old, says no, unless it's giant or tiny. I like the happy medium. Steph, who is 28 years old, the first guy I was with had what I thought was probably a pretty big dick, but he kept being like, look at this big dick I'm fucking you with, so it was bad. See? So maybe he had a big dick, maybe he didn't. That was the first guy, but it was terrible because he was just talking shit. He's just being meathead red pill guy. Nikki, who's 27 years old, she says a somewhat famous person's dick was literally a chapstick. Wow. Like a baby, the sex was so awful. Now, this article comes from AskMen.com. I think they surveyed like 50 women. This is from that article. She says, quote, I've been with just over a dozen men whose penises ranged from 5 inches to 14 and were of various girth. Okay, time out. Joy, who's 27 years old, says just over a dozen men is full of shit. If you have fucked only 12 guys in your life, you have not had dicks ranging from 5 inches to 14 inches. Dude, 14 inches? Like, are you kidding me? The only way that a woman has ever fucked a guy with a 14-inch dick is if she's fucked a lot of dudes. Because I think the average dick length is like 5.5 inches. So if your sample size is quote-unquote just over 12, bitch, you're full of shit. I don't know, maybe she meant just over 12 dozen men. That's probably a little bit more accurate. Anyway, just wanted to call bullshit on that. Anyway, she continues. She says, size does matter when it comes to having an orgasm through intercourse. and length is less important than girth. I've heard that before. My personal preference, oh my God. My personal preference, I didn't even read this all the way through. My personal preference would be 9 to 10 inches and thick enough that I can't quite close my hand around it. This size affords me the ability to have vaginal orgasms in multiple positions, and it isn't so large that fellatio is a challenge. Wow. So Joy is either a super slut, which I will get into later. Joy has either fucked over 100 guys, or Joy is fat. Listen, if you want to fuck with fat bitches, like if you like fucking fat girls, you gotta come packing. This bitch has been with just over 12 guys, and her preference is 9 to 10 inches and thick enough to where she can't quite get her hand around it. To me, that's yeah. All right, Joy's a slut. That wasn't truthful. Even being anonymous, bitches are never truthful. Let's look at another one. Cynthia, who is 32 years old, says, in my humble opinion, somewhere within the broad range of average size is best. It really is true that it's not about what you've got, it's how you use it. Size is of no importance when compared with technique. If anything, I have found that the smaller endowed guys are often, not always, but often the better lovers. They attempt, often successfully, to compensate with technique, and as a result, they are stellar lovers. Okay, this is like the less talented Tom Brady. Tom Brady is less talented than Aaron Rodgers, and so he developed himself, he cultivated himself into the greatest quarterback ever to compensate for his lack of athleticism. This makes perfect sense. Christina, who is 36 years old, she says size does matter, but not in the way people think it does when I say that. Nobody wants a 3 or 4 inch cock inside them. You just can't feel it. But for me, anything over 8 inches just hurts, and you can't fuck me the way I want to be fucked when I need it. The perfect size for me is 7 inches. That was Christina, who's 36. Now, one would think that, and I've got another quote up here, so let me take that down. Now, one would think that 67 women is hardly a large enough sample size to draw any sort of definitive conclusions about anything. And under normal circumstances, I would agree with that assessment. But given that most girls in this part of the world are pretty much the same, it does lend a little more credence. It does little, to me, it does lend a little more credence than most other 60 to 70 person size samples. Now, listen, I don't know about you guys, but as far as I'm concerned, it would appear that most women don't want to be mercilessly plowed by oversized dicks for 3 straight hours like porn would lead you to believe. And again, I'm going to get into that later. Take a look at what this female porn star says when she was asked about her preference in penis size. And again, this is a porn star. And I'm willing to bet that she's not the only woman who feels this way. She says, quote, if there is anything I've learned from my job, it's that a person's physical anatomy has very little to do with how much fun you can have in bed together. First, she continues, the majority of those giant penises that you see in porn are not much fun to have sex with. When I get on set with a guy with a 13-inch cock, I'm like, oh, Jesus, how is this going to work? It usually takes a lot of patience and deep breathing. Second, she continues, while I sometimes enjoy the feeling of a lot of penetration, a feeling that can be achieved just as easily with toys or hands, penetration in itself is not what makes me orgasm. That is true, I think, for most women. I get the most turned on by sex that is creative and dynamic. I like the dirty talk, attentive touching, oral sex, and the finger penetration much more than simply being pounded by a large appendage. I mean, I like penises, she says, but I think that there is a myth that heterosexual sex is supposed to begin and end with a cock. There is just so much more to it. I think the whole big cock mythology is pretty silly. Guys, this is a porn star telling you this stuff. She's a porn star. She's fucked more oversized dicks than most people in the world. Now, we can't assume anything, right? We can't assume anything about every woman in the world, but it's probably a safe bet that the vast majority of women, from your average sexually active female to porn stars who get fucked by large cocks on the regular, they don't really put too much stock in a man's penis size, unless, of course, like I keep telling you guys, that man is in the top or bottom 1%. Yes, gentlemen, there are female porn stars out there who like to feel it in the pit of their stomachs. Christina Rose, I pulled this quote from her. I don't have it for you, but I'm just going to read it. She says, I want to feel that shit so deep in my vag. I want to feel it come out of my throat and through my asshole. Okay. And then, of course, there are everyday girls who like them big. Megan, who is 25 years old, says, I prefer them to be on the big side. But like I said, guys, cervix crushing sex for 2 and 3 hours at a time seems to be preferred by the minority, porn stars or otherwise. So when it comes to penetration, as far as I'm concerned, just from the sample size, it looks like most females prefer pleasure over pain. Let's talk a little bit about what I like to call the super slut effect. Now, we all know that most women in America, they're raging sluts. But there are a pretty good number of girls who have triple digit notch counts, guys. Girls who have slept with exorbitant amounts of men. Right? Now, these super sluts, these girls who have been pounded by 100 cocks plus, they have no doubt been reamed by more above average dicks than the average females. Guys, it's simple probability. The more guys you fuck, the higher the likelihood you're going to run into a guy with a 14, 15-inch dick. This is just how it happens. Physiologically speaking, gentlemen, this kind of action, it wears out the vagina by stretching it to the point that it feels looser upon entry. Now, Kegel exercises may sort of help to kind of delay the onset of what I call the triple S, the super slut snatch, right? But taking 100 plus cocks, a collective 1,000 plus times, guys, that eventually takes its toll. And before any given woman knows it, she needs close to a top 1%er to feel anything down there when she's having sex. Now, girls can refute this all they want to, but this is simple physics. The more cocks a girl takes, the looser she'll get. We've all seen that meme with the guy throwing the hot dog down the hallway. It's not again, stereotypes, memes exist for a reason. And here's another thing. If this were a myth, like women like to proclaim, then why do vaginal rejuvenation procedures like the love knot, why does that exist? Why are women getting their hymens reattached? Why are women getting their it's almost like they pop their cherry, but they put the cherry back in. Yes, there's actual surgery that makes a woman not feel like a virgin on entry, but when you pop a cherry, it makes you, oh, wow, she's a virgin. Like they put her, they reconstruct the hymen. The effects on the sexual marketplace from a red pill point of view, this is obvious, guys. No man wants to feel like he's fucking an open window, guys. And it's a pretty accurate slut tell if she feels loose. And men with options do not commit to sluts. We'll fuck them all they want to. But if you have a loose pussy, we know you've been fucked by exorbitant amounts of men. Not going to commit. Now, as for girls with these triple digit notch counts, these girls who are super sluts, kind of a catch-22, right? On one hand, she can't advertise that she needs bigger dicks to stimulate her overly taxed vagina, because guess what? She's going to look and sound like a slut. On the flip side, she can't really be satisfied by average size men. Well, what this does, guys, is it forces her to sort of try before she buys, which means that she's got to fuck a lot of guys. And given that most men have average size dicks, she ends up shopping quite a bit more than the average woman, which only further increases her notch count. Now, sometimes girls like to brag about how big their boyfriends are, how they need super large dicks to please them. My guess on this is another projection play in that a woman who brags about wanting and needing big dicks makes them look more sexually experienced and more sexually selective, which is exactly what they want in a man. Unfortunately for them, it doesn't work that way, right? Like, you ever been around a woman, oh, I need big dicks to satisfy me. You got to be at least 8.5 inches. Oh my God, you have to have a girth. Yeah, I don't want to be able to close my meaty hand around it. Think a guy's gonna commit to that, bitch? Dude, fuck no. Hot dog open window, bitch. Get the fuck out. Or hot dog hallway, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. The super slut effect, really, among other things, guys, this explains why virgin brides stay with their husband at a much higher rate. Virgin brides only know one penis, as they should. So they don't really have anything else to compare it to physiologically or psychologically or physically. The bottom line here, guys, is that a woman needs extra large dicks to get off. She is more likely taking dozens and dozens and hundreds of cocks for a good long while. And a lot of people would say, well, Donovan, the vagina rejuvenates itself over time. You're getting no argument from me, but here's the problem. Girls don't stop fucking long enough for it to tighten up. Listen, let's say a girl becomes a porn star at age, let's just say 20, 21 years old, right? For a solid year, she's getting fucked by 8, 9, 10, 12, 14-inch cocks. If she takes a 1 year break, just given her age, she takes a 1 year break, her vagina will tighten back up. Provided she abstains from sex from above average dicks. So if you meet a woman who has a loose vagina, dude, she has taken cocks by the dozen. Top 1%ers. That is a super slut, guys. Let's talk about the role of pornography in terms of does size matter. Quitting porn, guys, that is a message that is routinely and consistently preached in the manosphere for a number of reasons. Now, one of the most important reasons is that watching porn enough, jerking off to porn enough, will eventually warp your mind into thinking you have to have a 2-foot dick to please a woman. And this is where most, if not all, penis anxiety starts. Guys, here's the simple truth about male porn stars. These guys are the top 1% in terms of dick size. This means that they have bigger dicks than most of the male population. The reason why porn directors use these guys is that it looks better on screen. That's it. Average doesn't cut it when you're trying to generate clicks, when you're trying to generate views. So they err on the side of aesthetic superiority. In other words, bigger dicks. Now, most men are going to be conscious of their dick size as a matter of biology, right? Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing because even in ancient times, a large penis represented fertility. And I guess it kind of still does to some extent. A man's ability to impregnate a woman and pass on his genes, that symbolized true masculinity. So the larger his dick, the bigger his dick, the more children he is perceived to be able to father. Now, that mentality has sustained itself through centuries and centuries of generations. But the very concept, it's been twisted and perverted by pornography. With more and more women becoming sluts, as opposed to marrying young and bearing children, a man's ability to squirt, or a man's ability to make her squirt, that's really all she cares about. Well, he better be able to satisfy me or this just isn't going to work. As men, we want to please women sexually to keep them coming back for more. And when we watch these dudes with these huge fucking dicks banging these pretty tiny little girls who are moaning and groaning like they're having the best sex of their lives, we internalize this. At some point, it starts to plant the seeds of insecurity about our own dick sizes, guys. Don't get me wrong, guys. Porn certainly has its place, but moderation is the key if you can keep it to a minimum. Guys, you show me a man who is overly concerned with his dick size, and I'll show you a man who watches way too much porn. At the end of the day, guys, this whole dick size thing, it's more about your psyche than your size. If you're confident in the bedroom, it doesn't really matter how big or small you are, provided you're not in the top or bottom 1%. Guys, listen, confidence is the most attractive trait a man can possess. And this naturally carries over into the bedroom, right? Here's another quote. Jamie, who's 24 years old, she says, quote, "I think a guy with a big dick is more confident, so it seems like he's better in bed." Gentlemen, you walk around like you've got a 13-inch cock, it's going to reflect in all of your actions, especially sex. And if a girl mentions anything to you about size or performance, treat it like a shit test. I remember this one conversation I had with this girl. Her name was Erica, right? And I think I forget where we were driving to. I think we went to play putt-putt or go-karts, whatever. It's all a blur. But here's something that she said. This is the conversation that we had, right? So she's talking about her ex-boyfriend, right? And at first I was like, no, seriously, I don't want to hear about the ex-boyfriend. She's like, no. She says, I think the sex with you is going to be great. I was just telling you, the sex used to be great with him, but I got tired of him being a 1-minute man with a small dick, right? And so I said, okay, I let her get what it would. Well, so what was my response to that? I said, well, I've got him beat because I'm going to give you 90 seconds of pleasure with my 3-inch destroyer. Just you wait. Dude, we both laughed our asses off. Treat it like a shit test. But What she said to me that night, that is further proof that the size of the boat motion in the ocean, that cliche is true, guys. Guys, listen, she acknowledged that her ex had a small dick, but the sex was good anyway. The only reason why she got bored is because his performance tanked. He stopped fucking her like a porn star. Now, of course, you're going to find articles that, sorry, boys, small dicks not allowed. Sorry, boys, you need a 12-inch cock if you want to keep a woman. That's an attempt to further marginalize men and sap our confidence. But the fact of the matter is, guys, that most women don't place nearly the emphasis on cock size as we do because they know that skill trumps size every single time. Here's another example. Marissa, who's 26 years old, she says, quote, Joe used Magnum condoms and Matthias didn't, but Matthias was a better lover. So let's ask the question, does size really matter? The definitive answer is with most girls, guys, probably not. When we return, I'm going to tell you how you can be unforgettable to her, even if you're not the biggest or the best she has ever had. Stay right there, guys. We'll be right back.
I ain't gonna lie, but baby girl bad. She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin. I ain't finna lie, but baby girl fine. She got some melanin in her. Yeah, she got that melanin in her. She got that melanin skin. It's for all the ladies with melanin that's comfortable in their element. You a natural baby, that's evident. All the shade they throw your way is irrelevant. That shade you rock can be like medicine. Always on point, I respect your regimen. But you was bred to win, so you don't really gotta try. Other bitches style jack and wonder why. Cause they wanna be like you. They be buying booty that you grew natural. But they be trying to tan so they look like you. Trying to keep a man so they cook like you. Light skinned, dark skinned, it don't even matter cause they both fine skinned. And maybe either way be the shit though. Love watching your body move to the tempo, you make it look simple. Crash the body like a symbol. With your melanin, you be slaying bitches like a pistol. Don't let them get up in your mental. That make you think you need bleach and lotion to be presentable. When I know you can do more better than blues, I gotta have it food days and hues. But I'ma get you boo, cause you done gave me clues. Don't play no games, I made the rules, baby. I ain't gonna lie, but baby girl bad. She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin. I ain't finna lie, but baby girl fine. She got some melanin in her. Yeah, she got that melanin in her. She got that melanin skin. Yeah. Oh my goodness, baby girl, that gorgeous, juicy Georgia peach and Florida oranges. You should come with me when I start touring. Your competition press, but just ignore them niggas. Shoot they shot with you, but never scoring. Get with me, your life cannot be boring. Tits and asses, hills, not talking Lauren. She melanated, but she still foreign. She could be Haitian and Jamaican, Guyanese and Nigerian. We pedal to the metal, not thinking about what gear we in. I know I'm steering in the right direction. Smooth criminal, you the witness. All you need is protection, huh? Maybe affection, cause you be fucking with lames, getting next to none. And I be up in my change in the best of months. So we could ride away like a Vespa does. But what does love got to do with it? Been smooth, I grew in this oh so swag that's different. Fell in love with melanin because of the difference. And make us all unique, yet one in the semblance, yeah. I'm loving your discipline, yeah. Whatever you want, you getting there. See, I'ma shoot my shot like an N1 free throw. Shoot the club up, no in vitro. Gotta do a song like this for all my ladies in melanin, cause I want y'all to love yourselves. And that's the real wealth in life. Cause you got to love yourself. That melanin skin girl, goddamn. You know that shit is so sexy. I want it. I want it. Yeah. Looking for me, wanna get to know me, you should know that.
Since you was born beautiful, you should go back to natural beauty. Ain't nothing wrong with that. To natural beauty, ain't nothing wrong with that. To natural beauty, ain't nothing wrong with that. Since you was born beautiful, you can go back to natural beauty. Ain't nothing wrong. I know you can't tell a lie, but so that melody, since you got that melody, you should go back. Natural beauty, ain't nothing wrong with that. Natural beauty, ain't nothing wrong with that. Natural beauty, ain't nothing wrong with that. Since you got that melody, you should go back. Natural beauty, ain't nothing wrong with that. Pro Live Entertainment 2019 till we keep rock, non-stop. She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin.
Welcome back to TSR Live. Episode 447. We are live on a Wednesday. It is May 8th, 2019. Good to have you guys in today. If you like what you hear, if you get something out of my show, if you get something out of my content, you want to contribute, you can do that through my Streamlabs link. I'm putting that in the chat right now. It is www.streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe 1. That is streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe and the number 1. Later on today, I'll be releasing exclusive Patreon content. Going to be releasing a couple of videos, actually. One video is going to be from the archives. I haven't decided which one that's going to be. But the first one I'm going to release, I'll release that at 4 o'clock. I released the archive video right around 5. Is the difference between shit testing, the difference between a shit test and disrespect. We were actually going to talk about this. We're going to discuss this on the Red Line Hotline with myself, Rollo Tomasi, Steve the Dean Williams. But that was during the 21 convention. That was during the 21 convention, and both Rollo and Steve were down in Florida. I was still here in Philly. Couldn't quite get it together, so we ended up canceling that. But we're back on this Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern, Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Then, of course, be sure to catch us on the Red Man group every Saturday morning at 11 Eastern. All right, let's go ahead and change gears here, or not change gears here. Let's stay in the same vein. I'm going to talk about how you can be unforgettable to a woman sexually, even if you're not the biggest or the best that she's ever had. Now, a lot of us guys, I would say that most of us watching, at least I would like to, I don't want to put a percentage on it. A lot of us are in relationships with women on some level. Okay? A lot of us, maybe even most of us, we all have wives, girlfriends, fuck buddies, friends with benefits, etc., etc. And a lot of those times, shout out to Charles Caballero with the $5 contribution. Appreciate that. A lot of those times, our women will tell us, OMG, you're the biggest cock I've ever taken, or that's the best sex I've ever had. Guys, listen to me when I tell you, this is never true. Right? It's never, ever true. Unless you've got a 27-inch cock. And even then, there's probably a nigga running around out here with a 29-inch cock. You never know. Gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, you will never, ever be the biggest cock, and you will never be her best lover. Unless your dick is in the top 1%, or unless you've had women into the double digits, triple digits tell you that you're the best, your girl is lying to you. Those men, those are the outliers. Okay? A lot of guys have more women than not. Tell them, hey, you're the biggest and the best. For the rest of us, we will never be the biggest or the best. Here's the thing. And the reason I know this is that the average woman, gentlemen, she has far more sexual experience than most men. As I said in the last segment, the more sex she has, the more oversized cock she's had. And if she fucks enough guys, eventually she's going to fuck around and get a few that are in the top 1%. She'll run into a few guys that make her squirt and give her the silent shakes. The more men she has slept with, the more likely it is that she will fuck guys with big cocks and guys who fuck like porn stars. So I'm going to give you guys a few ways to be unforgettable in bed, even though you are not the biggest or best she's ever had. Number one, I talked about this before. Stop giving a shit about her woman's needs in bed. Stop caring about what she needs in bed. Even though you're not the biggest or the best, you can still be unforgettable. But if you want to make yourself unforgettable, if you want her to never forget you, if you want her to tell all of her friends about you years down the line, the first thing you need to do is stop giving a shit about her needs in bed. Guys, again, I've talked about this many times, right? I'll even use my own girl, Devin, as an example. I don't care if she likes it when I fuck her for two main reasons. Number one, I know she's had bigger and better than me. And because of that, I'm not going to worry about something I can't control. Now, my dick is far above average, right? But I ain't no top 1%er. I know I'm not the biggest cock she's ever taken. I know I'm not the best lover she's ever had. I don't have any control over that. But by the same token, I'm not going to read articles on Kama Sutra and erogenous zones. It's just, guys, I can't control who has fucked her. She's had bigger and better cocks. It just doesn't matter because I can't control it. Here's the second reason. I know that sex isn't the most important thing to women, even if you're only fucking her. I just talked about this as well. Side chick, friend with benefit, friends with benefits, wives, girlfriends, doesn't matter. Women care more about how they feel when they're with you. Women want to feel safe. They want to have fun. If the sex happens to be good, then that's an added bonus. Right? This is funny. I'll tell you guys a quick story. I actually knew a girl. I worked with her at one of the call centers I worked at in Vegas. She told me that the sex with her boyfriend was terrible. Her name was Danielle. And the sex with the guys, he was a firefighter, and I think his name was like Bart or something like that. This is a while back. She said the sex was terrible. But when he dumped her, we lived in Nevada. We lived in Las Vegas. I think he lived somewhere outside. I think he lived in La Puente, somewhere outside of LA. When he dumped her, she went absolutely fucking crazy. She ended up losing her job because she kept taking days off to go stalk him in California. She followed him to California. She'd stalk him. Now, of course, that's an extreme example. But again, this just goes to show that sex isn't as important to women as it is us. It's important, but not as important. As far as Devin is concerned, I don't care if she likes it or not. Look, if she likes it, great. If she doesn't, great. Now, let me temper what I'm saying here. I'm not going to be meathead red pill guy or fake red pillar about this, right? Listen, I'll be honest with you. If Devin does tell me, damn, Donovan, you fucked me good just now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it doesn't give me a temporary slight elevation in mood. I'm human. If somebody tells me I'm good at something, it's going to have an effect, right? It doesn't last long, but it's there. I'm human. I'm not a robot, but I don't wait for these compliments, guys. I don't fuck her and then get all butthurt if she doesn't tell me that the sex was great. I assume that if she opens her legs, then I'm not terrible, and that's good enough for me as far as I'm concerned. So the first step in making yourself unforgettable is stop caring about her needs in bed. Guys, don't eat her pussy if you don't want to eat it. Do not eat do not eat the booty. You niggas out here eating booty, y'all need to stop that shit right now. Don't rub her clit while you're fucking her. If you're fucking her, don't be down there rubbing her. No, man, fuck that. Don't do anything that does not keep your cock hard. Here's another ironclad rule of Donovan. Girls will never punish a 5%er who is selfish as fuck in bed. But guess what she'll do with a beta guy? She'll bitch and she'll moan. Then go fuck the 5%er. But she won't say shit if she won't say shit to a 5%er who doesn't lick her pussy, and she'll keep coming back for more. The second step in making yourself unforgettable to a woman, even if you're not the biggest or the best that she has ever had, is do whatever the fuck you want, man. Right? Like, do whatever the fuck you want. Demand that from her. Don't ask her, tell her, and then do it. If you want to fuck her in the ass, don't ask her. Just fuck her in the ass, guys. If you want her to swallow, blow your load down her throat. You don't have to give her a warning. Fucking take your dick out, stroke it in, say, open up. Swallow. If you want to give her ass to mouth, give her ass to fucking mouth. Don't Don't kiss her afterwards, but if that's what you want to do, then do it. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. And if she's not down with it, then find a girl who is. Well, I don't suck dick. All right, well, I guess I'm not fucking you anymore. Guys, there are plenty of girls out here who will do whatever you want. If she doesn't do absolutely every single thing you want in bed, then she has got to go. This is non-negotiable. She's got to go. Worst case scenario, she moves down your totem pole, right? So if your main chick won't do anal, if your main chick stop sucking your dick, make her a side chick. If your side chick doesn't swallow your loads, put her in the fuck buddy category. I've said it before, guys. Most girls they don't like anal sex. Listen, anal sex is painful at worst, uncomfortable at best. A lot of girls don't like swallowing loads either. Dude, guys, sperm is slimy, it's salty, it's warm. Depending on the diet, it can also taste pretty badly. Now, let's bring Devin back into this. Devin knows that I could easily replace her, guys. She knows that I can go out and find pussy anytime I want. Dude, I won't even have to run game. I'm Donovan fucking Sharpe. I could just download Tinder or get on a dating website. Now, I've never done online dating, and she knows that, but she knows that if I did, I'd be up to my eyeballs in pussy. I'm here to tell you guys, Devin hates anal sex. I'll even tease her. I'm like, yeah, I'm going backdoor tonight. She's like, oh my God, please no. She does not like anal, guys. But when I press the head of my cock against her asshole, she offers zero resistance. If I want to blow my load down her throat, I'll tell her, swallow. And she does it without hesitation. Every single time, without exception. So the second step in being unforgettable to a woman, even though you're not the biggest or the best she's ever had, is to do whatever the fuck you want. Be unabashedly selfish. Nothing goes anywhere near her pussy except for your cock. That's it. Don't eat her out. Don't rub her clit. Don't try these exotic positions, these erogenous zones, these graphs and charts. Dude, fuck that. You fuck her, you blow your loads in her ass, do whatever the fuck sexually satisfies you. End of discussion. The third and final step in making yourself unforgettable to a girl, even though you are not the biggest or the best she's ever had, is to make her desirable by any means necessary. Here's what I mean. Women want a lot of things in life. They want security. They want a strong man. They want it all. But above all, what women want the most is male desire. Women want to be wanted. Women want to be lusted after. They want men to want to fuck them. They can talk all they want about what they require in bed. Right? They can say, well, my man has to go down on me. My man has to be unselfish. My man has to do this. My man has to do that. But if she thinks for 1 second that he is not as attracted to her as she is to him, the world stops. It gives her a complex. I talked about it earlier this episode. The two scenarios, A and B. Scenario number 1, the guy fucks her, gives her the shake, she squirts all over the place, he doesn't blow his load. The second scenario is the guy fucks her, he blows his load, but she doesn't orgasm. Guys, girls are taking scenario 2 11 times out of 10. Right? Good sex for women is great. But if the guy isn't satisfied, gentlemen, that is a failure. And if a woman was being completely honest with you, no feminism, no grandstanding, right? Take the average 27-year-old slut, right? The average 27-year-old slut. Just ask her, hey, whose satisfaction is more important, yours or his? If she's being honest with you, she's going to say, well, his is. They can talk all they want about how they love orgasms and they love getting their pussies licked, but they care more about a man's satisfaction. She could have the best sex of her life. But if afterwards the guy says, well, I didn't come, that's a fucking failure. It's going to give her a complex. Oh my God, is he not attracted to me? Did I smell bad? Am I that bad in bed? When Devin and I first met, she was attractive enough to get my attention. And I've made no assertions that Devin is a 10. A lot of guys like to, well, my girlfriend's a 10. My wife said, Devin's not a 10, man. Devin is a 7. Right? She's a 7. Now, her body is a 9. Right? In the face, she's a 6. Her body's a 9. All right. I'm not going to take the average of the two and give her a 7.5. I'll round down. Devin's a 7. That's attractive enough to get my attention. But I turned her into what I wanted her to look like sexually within a year. The first thing I did, tan lines. That I made her get tan lines. Guys, this is a turn on of mine. Every main chick that I've had for the last few years, I made get tan lines. This is what I required. Now, some girls just told me, Donovan, look, I'm not doing this. Guess what? She got downgraded. All right, cool. Well, you were my side chick. Now you're just a fuck buddy. Right? I might hit you at 1 or 2 a.m. Like when my pipeline is dry, but other than that, you're now a fuck buddy. Like you are in backup. You are now on standby. You're not getting the lion's share of my attention. I also made Devin buy slutty clothes. Guys, Devin owns an entire wardrobe of slutty clothing. You guys have seen my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter. She probably had, dude, look, listen. She owns this. She has a pair of heels that look like this. There's actually a pair of heels there. The stars and stripes for the 4th of July. Right? She's got mini skirts and see-through. Dude, honestly, she could honestly, man, if you did all the combinations, she could literally have a slutty outfit for every day of the year. Right? This is exactly what listen, she's got the body of a porn star, so guess what? She's going to look like a porn star when I fuck her. Dude, I'm going to tell you what, man. I'll put a percentage on this. At least 80% of the time we have sex, she is at least wearing heels, if nothing else. Guys, she gladly gives me what I want. Now, does she like walking around in heels she can barely walk in? I don't know, probably not. Right? I mean, who the hell likes getting fucked in heels? Right? Well, why does she do this, Donovan? She does this to keep my dick out of other chicks. You must do this with your woman. If your value is high enough and she wants to keep you from sticking your dicks in other females, she will oblige. But she won't do it unless you make it a requirement to. If you're into BDSM and whips and chains, nipple pinchers, do that. Right? If you're into the schoolgirl look, dude, tell her to put her hair in pigtails, get some problem glasses, a plaid skirt, and knee socks. Do that. If you're into the porn star look, just go to my social media pages and copy that. Whatever it is that you were into, you tell her. Guys, your woman wants you to look at her like a piece of meat. Your woman wants you to drool when she walks out looking exactly the way you want her to look. She wants all of these things, guys. But women aren't fucking mind readers, man. If you're not man enough to demand it from her, guess what? She ain't gonna do it. You can't be like,
Well, it would be nice if you wore the thongs every once in a while. Or, why haven't you worn those sexy panties I bought you 3 Valentine's days ago?
no, fuck that. You tell her, hey, look, go put on the stripper heels, slather on as much red lipstick as your lips can hold, put on that slut collar, curl your hair, put in the hoop earrings, and meet me in the living room in 5 minutes, where you'll deep throat my cock until you choke, and then I'll hate fuck you into submission, then blow my load in your face. That's how you do it. You tell her shit like that, your woman's pussy will, dude, it'll start leaking right there in front of you. But it won't be because of the upcoming sex, guys. That's not what she's thinking. No, her pussy's getting wet at the thought of your cock getting rock hard when you see her walk out, looking exactly the way you want her to look. Your woman wants a lot of things from you. She needs a lot of things from you. But what she wants the most by a fucking landslide is your sexual desire. As long as she has your sexual desire, everything else should fall into place, provided you have turned her into the kind of woman who's going to red pill woman who's going to benefit you. If you tell her exactly what will make her irresistible to you, if you tell her exactly what to wear and how to wear it, if she knows this is going to make you want her, if she knows this is going to make you want her, make you just want to drag her ass in the bedroom and fuck her till you're both sweaty, she will not hesitate to comply, and she'll do it every single time. This is what she wants and needs. Dude, I've known Devin 3 years. She still does this. So when things end between you and your girl, as they inevitably will, and she's talking to her friends, guess what? The subject of sex will come up, right? She'll talk about the biggest cock she's ever had. Oh my God, this one Jamaican kid. I fucked on spring break. He was probably 20 years old. Jesus Christ. He had a 2-foot dick. Right? Then she'll talk about the guy that she fucked in college. Oh my God, he was fucking crazy, but Jesus Christ. He used to soak the sheets. But guess what? She will definitely bring you up. Right? She'll say, well, Sean had the biggest cock I've ever seen. And Kevin and Sales fucked me the best, but I remember this guy, Donovan. All he wanted to do was fuck. I remember one weekend, he fucked me 4 times Friday night, 3 times Saturday, and then 5 times on Sunday. The guy was a walking fucking boner. He's like a machine. He made me wear stripper heels and all kinds of see-through dresses that, you know, the slutty girls, you know, the kind of shit that porn girls and strippers wear. And the guy, all I had to do was put this stuff on, and the guy couldn't get enough of me. I never had to worry about not turning him on. I never had to worry about him getting limp dick like Steve. Donovan made me feel like a woman. I always felt like he was just going to whip his cock out and bang me at any time. Man, those are some good times. You know what? I wonder what he's up to now. Let me see what's going on Facebook. Oh, yep. Looks like he's doing this with yet another woman. Next thing you know, she's hitting you up on Facebook talking about, so how you been? Like I said, guys, I know I'm not the biggest or best cock that Devin's ever had. But when I turned her into my personal porn star / stripper, she knew she had the keys to the loads, man. If she comes out looking the way she knows that I like her to look, she's getting a load in her face. She knows she's getting a dick in her ass. That's what it is. Dude, we went on vacation in Hawaii. We fucked so many times, we actually started to count. Hand to the man, guys. I fucked her 30 times in 5 days. I fucked her 5 times in the first 48 hours. That doesn't count the 5 hours we spent on the plane from Phoenix to the island. Guys, I shit you not. I fucked her so much my knees were bleeding from all the fucking. I had to put Band-Aids on my fucking knees. Right? What I had to do, I ended up having to pull her to the end of the bed and doing stand-up doggy the rest of the way, man. It was crazy. So if things go awry, right, she'll be talking to her friends. Yeah, this guy was the biggest and this guy was the best. But Donovan fucked me more times than I've ever been fucked, and he was always ready to fuck. Now, Devin tells me that Hawaii trip, that's the most time she's ever had sex in that period of time. Maybe she's lying, maybe not. 30 times in 5 days, guys, that's a lot of sex. So I don't know. I might actually allow myself to maybe entertain the idea of believing her. But if I find out that someone fucked her more times than I did in that period of the time, you know what? I'll tip my cap to the fucker. Listen, game recognizes game. I fucked her 30 times in 5 days. If I find out you fucked her 32 times in 5 days, hey, game recognizes game, bruh. Dude, I tell her all the time, man, like, you look hot in those see-through this or those micro that. Now get on your knees. You've got work to do. So to recap, step 1, stop giving a shit about her needs in bed. Step 2, do whatever the fuck you want to her. Don't apologize. Don't ask permission. Step 3, make her as desirable as humanly possible by any means necessary. Gentlemen, you do those things. You do these 3 things. Your woman will never forget you. I can personally assure you. After the break, I'm going to give you guys a step-by-step guide on how to completely, mentally, and physically dominate a woman in bed. We'll be right back. So, let's discuss a few things about white girls that every black man should know. Now, there are a lot of black out here who advocate, don't date black women. Don't date black women. Date white girls, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of black men sort of do other black men a disservice. And that disservice is they characterize dating white girls as it being just all peaches and cream. It's the land of milk and honey, right? It's dating white girls, it's all upside. Au contraire. There are many, 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 many downsides to dating white girls. And I think I've done an episode regarding that. I think I called it the downsides of dating white girls or the disadvantages of pursuing white girls, something like that. Anyway, what I'm going to talk about now are a few things about the about the mentality of white females within the context of a sexual relationship with a black man that black men need to know and understand. Okay? Again, listen, there are advantages to dating white girls, to be sure. Okay? But like every good thing in life, there is a price to be paid. If you want an elite physique, the price to be paid is diet and exercise. If you want to be rich, the price that you pay, you got to work hard. You got to put in 80 hours a week. You want to be an entrepreneur? Guess what? The 40-hour work week is over. For females, if you want a high-value men, the price to be paid is don't get fat, don't be a slut. Those are, unfortunately, those things have become nearly impossible for females to sort of stick with these days. But anyway, part of the price to be paid for dating white girls is that they are, of course, white girls. And there are a few things that you need to understand about dating white girls that you need to get through your head. This stuff ain't changing, guys. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've actually got 6. Okay? Number 1, the first thing that black men need to be well aware of regarding white girls is white girls are naive about the struggle. Gentlemen, white girls, and this isn't their fault, right? Because they're white girls. White girls are positively clueless about the things that black men go through on a daily basis. They have no idea what it's like to see a cop in the rearview mirror and have your heart rate elevate, have your blood pressure rise. When a white girl sees a cop behind her, she doesn't think of anything. It's just a cop. Now she feels safe. Me personally, I don't feel safe when there are police officers around. Now, I don't feel like I'm in danger, or at least not most of the time. But when there are cops around, I don't have that sense of security. Like, hey, if shit pops off, the cops are out. No, man. It's every nigga for himself as far as the cops go. And I'll give you a perfect example of white females not having no idea about, quote unquote, the struggle. And black men, black people, we live in a different America than white people. Listen, man, I'm not getting into the whole racial thing. I'm not mad at white people. I'm not doing all of that, right? Not talking about white devils and this. No. But African American men live in a different America than white females, obviously. And I'll give you an example. When I first started dating Devin, okay, we didn't always live together. When I used to go to her place, there was this light right outside her place that says, "Don't make a right on red." And the first time I pulled up to it, I'm driving her car. She's like, just blow through it. I do all the time. I looked at her, or passenger, I looked at her. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, just blow through it. I do it all the time. I said, sweetheart, you're a white woman. I'm a black man. Cops let you get away with more than I do. Then she goes on and on about, the cops here in this city are totally cool. Da-da-da. I'm like, did you not hear what I just said? You're a white woman. I'm a black man. Like, cops don't give a fuck. Listen, you think cops are great because you're a white girl. I don't think Devin's ever been arrested. She may have had one ticket in her life, right? She's never had that kind of incident. She just doesn't understand. Here's another example. We were watching Live PD, and I talked about this way back in episode 13. We're watching Live PD. It's a show on A&E. And there was this white girl who got pulled over, okay? And the reason why they pulled her over is because they saw that she quickly switched lanes. And that is when somebody recognizes preemptive traffic stop behavior, if they see a cop in the rear view and they use evasive techniques in terms of getting away from the cop so he can't read her plates, that sends the cop's mind into overdrive. Okay, why are they swerving away? Maybe there's warrants. So he pulls her over. This chick's license was suspended. She had a warrant out for her arrest. She had a warrant out for her arrest, and she had 2 kinds of drugs on her, cocaine and crystal meth. I'm going to say it again. Outstanding warrant, driving while license revoked, okay, and 2 kinds of drugs. The cop let her walk. Devin saw that, and she was utterly shocked. She had no idea. Finally, I said, do you see what I'm talking about? All she could do is just sit there and shake her head, right? She just sat there and shook her. I said, look, I'm not making this shit up. I'll give you another example. We were actually watching Live PD the other day. This is unbelievable. They pulled this dude over. They pulled a black man over because he made a right-hand turn but didn't stay in the right lane. So he made a right-hand turn and then switched lanes into the left lane. I didn't know that was illegal in Ohio. That's why they pulled this guy over. Turned out that this guy had a warrant out for his arrest for not paying child support. Doesn't matter. They wouldn't have found that out had they not pulled him over for no reason. Then there was a case where a white woman was in her car, all drugged the fuck up. Someone saw her driving and swerving. She managed to park in a parking lot. This bitch was high as a kite. And in the end, the cop said, you know what? I'm just going to let this woman sleep it off so that she can enjoy the rest of her day. There you go, man. It's because of things like this. Because of things like this, white women will never understand about the struggle. The second thing you need to understand is they don't really give a shit about the struggle, nor should they. I did an article on NegroManosphere.com. Stop expecting white people to care about the plight of black people. Gentlemen, we are all selfish by nature. This is how it is. This is always the way it's going to be. When we see, commercials about, the starving kids in Africa, our heart goes out to them, and we might even pick up the phone and pledge a couple of bucks a month to help them out. But as soon as we hang up that phone, gentlemen, we're not thinking about that anymore because we're inherently selfish. The fact that your white girlfriend could not give two shits about your struggle as a black man, that's not on her, but you have to understand she doesn't care. Now, she cares about you, right? If you get harassed by the cops, if you're racially profiled, she's going to raise holy hell because that's you, right? But she doesn't give a shit about the plight of black people, guys. They really don't care. Listen, kudos to her for trying to act like she really cares, but she doesn't. It's almost like the female sports fan. You get with a girl, I'm an Eagles fan. Thankfully for me, I don't know how this happened. Devin happens to be a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and she really is an Eagles fan. Like, she has an old school Brian Westbrook jersey and everything, so I knew she was genuine. But we've all met that girl who tries to be a sports fan, but you can tell she's not really a sports fan because she doesn't really give a shit about sports. It's the same thing there. Here's another thing. Your white girlfriend, she thinks that you are the exception to every stereotype out there. See, again, this is the hive mind of females. In her mind, she wants to rationalize, okay, I made a good decision. He's a black man, and I know I'm going to catch some heat, but he's not the typical black guy. He's not a thug-ass nigga, this and that and the other. Listen, man. I have a podcast that I'm well-spoken and this and that and the other, but make no mistake about the fact, gentlemen, don't let the light skin and the strong command of the English language fool you. I embody a lot of the negative stereotypes of black men. Yes, I have been arrested several times. Yes, I've spent time in jail. Yes, I have a criminal record. Yes, I have a violent fucking temper. This is how it is. I am not special. Okay, I am not he's a black man, but nothing special about me. Your white girlfriend will rationalize in her mind that you are the exception to every stereotype. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm the stereotypical black man. Obviously, I'm not a hood nigga. I'm not an Uncle Tom or anything like that. But for me to sit here and say that I am the exception to every rule out there, nah, man. Nope. Now, your girlfriend is going to think this, but you're going to have to be honest with her. You are not special. Here's another thing, and this is very dangerous. I'm on a fucking roll here. This is actually going pretty good. As I take a swig of water. Number 4. White girls think their white privilege extends to you, right? If you get, the most dangerous weapon a black man can have in his car when he gets pulled over by a white cop is a white girl, because white girls don't respect cops, right? So license and registration, please. Dude, your white girlfriend is gonna be like, what the fuck are you pulling him over for? He has his rights, blah, 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 blah. She thinks that because she's white and in the car with you, that the cop is then going to extend her white privilege to you. Obviously, as a black man, we know that it certainly does not work that way. But you have to understand, you're going to have to explain this to your girlfriend. Hey, listen, your white privilege doesn't extend to me, right? You're going to fuck around and get me shot. You want to get me shot? Well, they're not going to shoot you. I'm white. No, sweetie. They'll cap the shit out of me. They're not going to cap you. They're going to cap me. Shut the fuck up, sit there, and let me handle my business. White girls always think that their white privilege extends to you. They think that they can they think that when they walk down the street with you, that they're not going to catch, the eyes of white people. They think that they're no. White girls always think that their white privilege extends to you. It's never true. A couple of final thoughts here that you're really, really going to have to sort of understand about white women is they never think things are ever good enough. Okay? And this actually blends with the last one. White girls always find something to complain about. Gentlemen, listen, I love Devin to death. She's a good woman. She's good to me, etc., etc. But she complains about everything. She complains about the wait staff. I remember when we first got together, she told me, well, people treat me poorly in the service industry. When I was out buying furniture, it took them 15 minutes to get with me. I don't get served well in restaurants. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, like, is there something about her? Like, what's going on? Well, now I've known her now for 3 years. And it is obvious to me that it's not the problem of the service industry. This is a Devin problem. This is a white girl problem. Devin's a spoiled fucking brat, guys. Dude, if we sit down at a restaurant and our waiter or waitress isn't there within 30 seconds, she starts to look around, right? Where are our drinks? Where are our appetizers, right? This is too cold. This is too hot. Devin, if you're listening, I love you, but you're a fucking complainer, and you know it. I call Devin a food snob all the time. All the fuck, dude, maybe I'm exaggerating and maybe I'm embellishing here for effect, but most of the time there's always something about her food that she has to complain about. Dude, I'm telling you right now, white girls always find something to complain about. So to review the 6 things that black men need to understand about white women before getting into relationships with said white women. Number 1, they are naive about the struggle. They don't know what it's like to be pulled over by a cop. They think cops treat everyone the same. Not true. Number 2, they don't really give a shit about the struggle. Doesn't make them bad people, but they don't care no matter how much they pretend to care. Number 3, they think that you are the exception to every negative black male stereotype. Number 4, and this is dangerous, they think their white privilege extends to you. Obviously it does not. Number 5, they never think things are ever good enough. Why? White girls live great lives. They live lives of privilege. And if something is just a little bit off, they feel like they have to complain, which is number 6. Welcome back to TSR Live with Donovan Sharpe. This is episode 447. This is now we're in the last segment of the day. Big thanks goes out to Freelance Ronan with the $5 contribution. He did that via the Streamlabs link, www.streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe. And the number 1 again, that is streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe and the number 1. Appreciate him and Charles Caballero, both TSR OGs. They've supported me, God, since day 1. Jesus. I've opened up the phone lines, but again, it looks like I'm getting a big time delay here. And I do not like the delay. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to temporarily suspend the phone lines. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy another computer. I'm going to buy a Windows Mini, a miniature Windows computer, a miniature Windows hard drive or whatever, and just buy another, put it on a smaller screen. That way I can still take phone calls without slowing down my computer. I don't want you guys, I don't like the lip syncing thing, and I know you guys don't think it's a big deal, and you're like, hey, Donovan, it's no problem as long as we can hear you. No, listen, I appreciate that, but it's my job to make sure that I provide the highest quality content that I possibly can. And a little computer is, I don't know, $119. If all I'm going to do is take phone calls on the air, I'm not doing it. I've got one computer, putting the feed out here for the slideshow. My Mac Mini is on these 2 screens. I don't have a problem. I've got 2 more monitors down here that aren't doing anything. So I think that's probably going to end up being what I do. So scratch what I said about the phone lines being open. Probably give me another couple of weeks. Make sure I find the right system, and we'll get that underway. Give me a second because I'm still on this bullshit call. Leave the page. All right, there we go. Man, oh man. Okay, there we are. Looks like I'm good to go now. 21 convention tickets are now on sale, guys, and if you buy today, you will get a 40% discount. That's right, guys, 40% discount. Now, this applies to both events. It applies to the 21 convention in Warsaw, Poland, which is this July, and the 21 Con in Orlando this October. Both are 4-day events, and they will both change your fucking lives. Now, I want you guys to understand, the 21 convention, we're catching a lot of heat from a lot of different guys, a lot of different sectors. You know, the Red Pill subreddit, which is basically just pussy paradise at this point. All the guys do in the Red Pill subreddit has been reduced to guys making themselves the authority on what's Red Pill and what's not, right? The Red Pill subreddit is meathead Red Pill guy. I don't care how hot she is. If she fucks up one time, I'm gone. Donovan Sharpe isn't a Red Pill guy because he has too much of a temper. Anthony Johnson is a douchebag because he monetizes the I don't give a fuck about that, right? Like, that's all bullshit. But something that I've seen in terms of a narrative on the 21 convention is the 21 convention, it's not some pickup artist boot camp or some wannabe Vegas hangover experience. No. It is the only event for men by men who will teach you how to dominate your life by becoming better with women. Yes, becoming better with women is part of that, but it's not PUA pickup techniques. We also teach you about saving money. We teach you about self-defense. We teach you about health and nutrition, dressing better, how to be a better father. We just had the Patriarchs edition. I just got back from that yesterday. Anything and everything you need to know about becoming a high-value male is covered at the 21 convention. Yes, becoming better with women is part of what we talk about, but it's not the only thing. So don't let these nameless, faceless, sexless fucks who call themselves Red Pill guys disparage you from investing in yourself. Is the 21 convention a lot of money to go to? Fuck yeah, it's a lot of money to go to. It costs a lot of money to put these events on, right? A lot of guys complain who come to the Red Man group, oh my God, what the fuck is with all these introductions? Look, motherfuckers, we are taking time out of our day. You're not paying for the content, right? You download any app. If that app is free, chances are there are ads. This is how they pay for the app. This is just how it works. You don't just get all free shit. Dude, the content we provide is top fucking notch, man. Guess what, guys? Plane tickets cost money. Hotel rooms cost money. Conference rooms cost money. Talent costs money. The production staff costs money. George Bruno's the best in the business. He doesn't come cheap, guys. Production staff, dude, taking the pictures and the videos and all of the cutting and the editing, that doesn't come cheap. We consistently put out super high quality, super high value information. That is not cheap. This is why we go through, hey, what are you up to when we start the Red Man group? And it never fails. At least two guys are in there bitching and complaining, oh, we can do without the introductions. Fuck you guys. Go fuck yourself. Today's fucking millennial generation, you always want something for fucking free. If you want free shit, go live with your mom. She'll let you live with her for free. But this shit costs money. That's all there is to it. Oh, they're stealing tactical soap. They've sold out. Get the fuck out of here, man. It costs money to put these things on. Right? So I don't want to hear any of that. No, that's number one. Number two, this isn't some pickup artist boot camp like I said. The narrative out there is that these guys are out here talking all this shit. Oh, they're just talking about women. They're sexless betas and this. No, whatever. The guys talk shit about us because they want to be us. That's all there is to it. They don't contribute anything to the manosphere except for bitching and moaning on the Red Pill subreddit. So if you're on the Red Pill, if you're one of these bitching and moaning guys on the Red Pill subreddit, Donovan Sharpe says to go fuck yourself. And I could not give less of a fuck what you think about me. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys, man. I'm so sick and tired of these cowardly fucks doing nothing but talking shit. Here's another thing while I'm at it. If you have never shown your face or lent your voice on the internet, dude, fuck what you heard. Shut the fuck up about men who have. Don't get me wrong. Debate is healthy, right? Listen, man, the Red Pill, there are many ideas and there are many things under the umbrella of the Red Pill. That's fine. Healthy debate is fine. But when you start to take shots when you start to take shots at, or when you start to troll or talk shit about men like me who have shown my face, lent my voice, or both, but nobody knows what you look or sound like, you can go fuck yourself. I'm not trying to hear shit from you. The fuck do you know about being red pill if you don't want to show yourself? Right? Now, some men may correctly point out, well, Donovan, obviously red pill guys, they have a lot to lose. Look at guys like Jack Murphy, guys that don't want to be doxxed. And therein lies the difference. We are taking a much higher risk, putting our names and faces out there. Everybody knows what Steve the Dean Williams looks like and sounds like, and he uses his real name. You guys don't know my real name. I go by the moniker of Donovan Sharpe, but other than that, you guys know I live in Philly. You know what I look like. That's enough to get me doxxed. We take higher risks than men that we never see or hear. That doesn't mean that what they contribute is any less important, because I understand why they hide under the cloak of anonymity. By the same token, if I've never seen you or heard you on the manosphere, if I've never seen your face or heard your voice, but then you just want to talk shit about me, you can go fuck yourself with the sickest one, bro. I got no respect for you. Healthy debate is fine, but don't act like you are better than me or that I'm somehow a sellout when you haven't shown your face or lent your voice. I'm taking a bigger risk than you. You fucking fat fucks. And you fake fucks know exactly who you are, man. You guys can all go fuck yourselves. It was a nice little rant there. Been sitting on that one for a while. By the way, we're also going to be having separate workshops in addition to the lectures for added value at the 21 convention. Guys, be sure to click the link in the description of this episode to save 20%. I gotta go turn my fan toward me. Hang on, guys. Oh. Yeah, man. Heated like a motherfucker. I'm tired of these fuckers. All right. Much better. I think I'm gonna leave the headphones off too. Anyway, I just wanted to. Actually, I put them back on. I just wanted to get that off of my chest. Every year, right around the time that we're gonna have the 21 convention, we get all these fake fucks coming out of the fucking woodwork about how bad the 21 convention is, what it is, what it isn't, and how it should be done. You guys can all go fucking fuck your mothers, man. Fuck you guys. Y'all, dude, guys like this don't. All you do is contribute little fucking complaints on the Red Pill subreddit. Fuck you. One guy who's a mod in there talked about Anthony Johnson being a douchebag. He said, not on my watch, not in my house. You fucking, you fake fuck. You run off, dude, you are the moderator for a fucking Reddit page. You don't do shit. You fucking sit behind the cloak of anonymity and you sit there and talk shit as the overlord, the end all be all of the Red Pill. Not in my house. What fucking house? A goddamn website? You fucking fake fuck? Get the fuck out of here. I stand behind the Red Man Group. I stand behind the 21 convention because we're the only motherfuckers out here who are taking the fight offline. You fuckers out here doing the easy shit, posting, I'm gonna write a blog, oh, these guys aren't doing it right. Really? Why don't you show us how? You fake fucks. Oh, no? Didn't think so. Shut the fuck up. All right, let me get back on topic. Man, you would think that I looked at the chat or something. Jesus. And by the way, I don't look at the chat. So all you guys trolling me in the chat, I don't even see it. So you guys can all go fuck yourselves too. All right, let's get to the Been a while since I've done a rant like that. So let's get to it. I have told you guys that in the past, I constantly, I get emails every day asking me how to go about setting up a threesome with his girlfriend or his wife. Now, I get other inquiries more frequently, like the standard, well, how can I be better with girls? How can I overcome approach anxiety and so on and so forth? But threesomes with their significant others, that is the one that I get the most. Now, closely behind threesomes, and by the way, you should never have a threesome with another girl and your significant other. Bad idea. Anyway, closely behind the threesomes with my wife or girlfriend, which is always a bad idea, is Donovan, how can I make a girl orgasm? Or Donovan, how can I become a sex god and better? Donovan, how can I become better in bed? Which makes a little more sense because, like I said earlier, conventional wisdom states that if we, as men, if we provide a woman with good sex, she's likely to come back for more, right? If we can make her orgasm and squirt and give her the silent shakes, she'll get what we call in the black community, she'll get sprung. Well, the answer to that is, it might mean that, right? She could, listen, if you give a woman good sex, she is more likely to come back. Absolutely. Right? But here's the thing. Here's the thing that a lot of guys don't understand. A lot of women either can't or don't orgasm on a regular basis. Guys, you could be king fucking ding-a-ling. You could have a 30-inch cock. You could know all the erogenous zones and G-spots and all the positions and all the rest of that. But even that guy doesn't make every woman orgasm every time he fucks him. I'll use Devin as an example. Devin tells me that she almost never has an orgasm when we fuck, right? She tells me it's very difficult for her to have an orgasm. Is that true? Don't know, don't care. Because I'm sure she's fucked other guys who make her come all the time, but that's got nothing to do with me. She says she likes having sex with me, and I'm inclined to believe her because she does let me fuck her whenever I want. So I guess, like I said, at the very least, I know I'm not terrible. But every so often, she'll have an orgasm. I'll get lucky and she'll have an orgasm. Great. Now, on the other hand, I fuck plenty of girls I can make orgasm all day, every day. Dude, one chick, I actually told you guys about her. Dude, she used to tell me she was sorry she was having an orgasm 45 seconds in. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like, what are you apologizing to me for? Right? Like your pussy's still wet and my dick's still hard. This ain't over, bitch. Right? Hold still. I've also fucked girls I never made come who couldn't get enough of me. And I fucked girls I've smoked the sheets with. They've ghosted on me after a week and a half. You just never know. And that's the point, guys. You just never know with girls. Orgasms vary wildly from one girl to the next. And the fact of the matter is that no man can ever make every woman squirt every time. It can't be done. Well, what about the guy with the 9-inch cock? Nope. Some girls orgasm when you pound their cervix. Some girls orgasm when you stimulate the clit. And there's a multitude in between. Big dick dudes can't make every girl come, guys. Orgasms are so unpredictable and so temperamental that men drive themselves crazy and their girls crazy searching for this fabled G-spot. What, you guys have to understand this too. What worked last night might not necessarily be what works tonight, and vice versa. Now, don't mistake me. I don't want you guys to get me wrong here. Orgasms definitely cause girls to want to come back to fuck you, but their orgasms don't really matter. Why? I talked about this earlier in the show. Good sex for women don't just involve making her orgasm. If it did, girls wouldn't be fucking anybody, right? Well, then what is it? What is it about? What is it about sex that makes women come back for more other than orgasm? Well, it's about making sex an experience. And every female on God's green earth wants to be dominated. And that is the key to keeping them coming back for more. Okay? Women are far more likely to keep fucking the dude with the 5-inch cock who dominates her in bed than the dude with the 10-inch pole who just pounds her cervix for a half an hour. Learning how to dominate a female in bed, that's what's going to separate you from all the other guys she's fucking, and that's what I'm going to discuss in this particular segment. Okay? How to dominate a woman in bed and be the sexual experience she wants and needs. Dominate a woman the right way, and you'll both forget about her useless orgasms. Number 1, dominate her mind. So the first element of dominating a woman in bed is not to just dominate her body, which we'll get into later, but dominate her mind. I just talked about this in the last segment. Unless you're at or near the bottom or the top 1% in terms of dick size, most dicks feel about the same to most women. Some of them feel a little better than others, depending upon, a plethora of other factors. But by and large, most cocks are what they are. I've had plenty of girls indirectly tell me that their boyfriends had big dicks, but the sex with me was much better. No, they didn't say, well, my boyfriend's or husband's dick was much bigger than yours, but you fucked me better. But one girl told me this. As as we're laying in bed after I fucked her, she said, God, as big as his dick is, you would think that my husband could fuck me better. Like, she said this to me. One girl told me that her boyfriend had a small dick, but the sex was good anyway. I talked about that recently in 2 segments ago, right? Remember, she said, well, the sex between us used to be great, but I got tired of him being, I think she said, a 1 minute man with a small thing. I actually wrote about that in a Return of Kings article, right? The point is, guys, is that size does not matter, especially if you are dominating her mentally. And to do this, you have to be verbal. One girl I've talked about in the past absolutely loved, her name was Juliet. She loved being treated like a human fucking toilet. Dude, Juliet was damaged far beyond repair, and because of that, she loved the extremely dirty talk. She just loved just being degraded to the nth degree, right? Dude, do this with your woman. Call her a slut. Call her a whore. Call her a cocksucker. Call her a cocksucking slut. Then you escalate and call her your slut. Call her your whore. Call her your cocksucking slut. And again, girls don't want to be a slut. They want to be your slut. So you start off by calling her a slut, then you escalate by calling her your slut. Okay? By calling her your slut and your whore, your cocksucking slut, you are mentally taking possession of her. After that, take it one step further and make her repeat it. Tell her, tell her this. Say you're my slut. And she'll repeat it every fucking time. I'm your slut. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I have never had a woman not say this to me when I instruct them to say it. But you gotta be dominating her. Now keep in mind that when you're being verbal, you have to be pounding her. Right? You gotta be fucking the piss out of her. Dude, you can't be slow grinding or making sweet love. I actually talked about that in my workshop a couple of days ago, this past Sunday at the 21 convention. Quit making love to your wives. Quit making love to your girlfriends. Dude, fuck her. She wants to be fucked. She doesn't want love to be made to her. She wants to get pounded. You have to be moving her body when you thrust. If you're fucking her from behind, make her ass shake and send ripples. If you're on top, make her tits shake. You gotta be fucking her hard. You have to be pounding her. From there, you take it to the next level and say, you're my property. You belong to me. Again, guys, this has a very deep psychological effect on women. You're taking possession of her and you're telling her that you are. Then you can follow it up with, I own you, or something to that effect. Then you make her acknowledge it by asking her, who do you belong to? Whose slut are you? Who does your pussy belong to? All three of those answers should be you, yours, and you. Then you escalate it even more. You put your name in there. Tell her, repeat after me, my pussy belongs to Donovan. I belong to Donovan. Make her say it. Donovan owns me. Switch between proper nouns and possessive nouns, right? Kind of go back and forth. Make her say, I'm your slut. I belong to you. Then switch it up to, I belong to Donovan. I am Donovan's slut. And if you want to really take it to the next level, you make and keep eye contact with her when you are verbalizing instructions. Dominant eye contact, guys, while saying these things and making her repeat it to you, okay? This is what really takes control of her mind, guys. It's almost as though she's in a trance. Sluts don't generally like eye contact during sex, but when she's being ravaged by a man who is showing physical domination by making her say these things, she welcomes the eye contact. She wants to be owned in this way. And a lot of times women will initiate eye contact because they like the feeling of being owned physically and mentally. Dude, you can even put a mirror above your headboard so you can make and keep eye contact with her. Fuck in her bathroom also. It's also a good way to do this. The bottom line here, guys, is that many men have had they've had temporary physical possession of any given woman's body. They're sluts. They've got body counts into the triple digits, but very few of them have ever mentally owned her, mind fucked her, psychologically and mentally dominated her, guys. Women always remember men like this and they make themselves available to them at all times. Believe me. The second way to dominate a woman in bed is what most people are aware of, but are either afraid to do or they're not doing it right, and that is physically dominating a female. Now, there are quite a few ways to dominate a woman physically, aside from the standard ass smacking and hair pulling, right? Everybody knows women love getting their asses smacked. Everybody knows women love getting their hair pulled. Everybody knows all this stuff. But there are a few other ways to do this. But before we get into those things, let's address the ass smacking and hair pulling, because dudes ain't even doing that right. Guys will be like, yeah, I smack my girl's ass when I fuck her. But what he doesn't tell you is that he doesn't leave a mark. He's not smacking her ass, guys. He is tapping it. Right? You know what? Hang on a second. I'm gonna bring up a picture for you guys. I'm gonna show you what your woman's ass. I'm just gonna add this. I actually just thought about this. Let me bring up an image here. I'm gonna show you guys a picture of Devin's ass after I smacked it. She's standing in the kitchen cooking, wearing slutty attire, and I smacked her fucking ass and I left a mark. And I want you guys to just know what a woman's ass is supposed to look like after you smack it. Give me a second. Man, where the fuck is it? There it is. All right. Let's see. Where are we? There it is. Bingo. Bingo. Look at this. Let me stretch this out for you. You see that? You see that? That is what dude, there. I'm gonna blow this way up for you guys, just so you guys can see this shit. There is Devin's ass after I smacked it. You can see the handprint, guys. You can look at the handprint. Look at it. Look at it. I'll make you look at it. That is her ass after I smacked it. Left a fucking handprint, guys. This is what your girl's ass is supposed to look like when you smack her ass. Okay? He's not smacking her ass, guys. He's tapping her ass. Okay? When you smack your girl's ass, this is what it's supposed to look like. Guys, don't be afraid to hurt your girl, man. Girls love painful pleasure. When you smack her ass, make sure it stings. To her, it'll hurt so good. Now, as far as pulling her hair is concerned, you need to pull it so hard that she is looking at the wall or the ceiling. Dude, grab as much at the base of her skull as possible and pull back hard to create that tension. Right? Now, I've had pictures of me pulling Devin's hair, right? But when you grab her hair, grab it at the base. Don't grab it at the middle. Don't grab it at the end. Because if you do, it's going to be painful, and that's not the kind of pain you want your girl to have when you're fucking her. But that's how you grab her hair. Get it at the base, and you pull her head back so she's either looking straight at the wall or at the ceiling or somewhere in between. You're not going to break her neck, dude. Okay? You're not going to break her neck. Pull that slut's hair and make her look at the fucking stars. Do not be afraid of this shit. Here's another way to physically dominate her. Use your teeth. Bite her neck. Bite her shoulders. Guys. Bite her tits. Obviously, you're not trying to draw blood. At least not most of the time. But you want to make sure she fucking feels it. You want to make sure it leaves a fucking mark in the morning. Don't give me this nibble shit either, guys. Guys, quit nibbling on her fucking ears, man. You're not a fucking puppy dog. You're a man. Bite her fucking neck. Dude, make her feel that shit. Trust me when I tell you, man, she's gonna fucking love it. Dude, she'll be showing your teeth marks off to all of her friends. Choking is another great form of physical domination. No, you're not gonna choke her out, right? You're not gonna squeeze her so hard that she can't breathe. Simply wrap your hand around her neck just below her chin and gently squeeze it enough to create enough tension for her to feel it. Enough tension so she can breathe. Not so much tension that she can't breathe normally, but enough tension to where you're holding her down. Guys, girls love being choked during sex, man. You can do this when you're on top or when you're behind her. Doesn't matter. Dude, a lot of times, I'll just walk up and start fucking her, right? I'll just reach up around and grab her fucking neck. I'll grab her tit and I'll bite her fucking neck. 3 birds, 1 stone. Mix and match, guys. Get creative. But get physically dominant. Also, leave marks, guys. Dude, mark that slut the fuck up. Mark her ass up. Leave marks on her ass. Squeeze her tits so hard that she has bruises. When you hold her down, leave fucking bruises on her arms. When you're fucking her jackhammer thighs, dude, leave bruises on her fucking thighs, man. Guys, I'm here to tell you, girls absolutely adore physical proof of sex. They love showing off their bruises and bite marks and welts to their friends. They love looking at their battle scars in the mirror, guys. They love being sore. If she's not sore and she doesn't have marks or bruises, you did not physically dominate her. Period. The third way to physically dominate a woman in bed, or to dominate a woman in bed, is to lead her. Do not ask her. Okay? What I mean is that you do whatever you want to do without permission or apology. Okay? If she's blowing you, if she's sucking your dick and you're ready to fuck, dude, grab her hair, pull her up, throw her on the bed, and start pounding her. Don't say,
Well, okay, I'm ready to have sex with you. You can stop sucking my dick now.
if you're gonna be vocal about it, just say on your back or on. I tell this Devin all the time: on your knees, on your back, and she'll assume whatever position I instruct her to assume. When you change position, guys, don't announce it. Simply change positions. If you're fucking her from behind and you want to fuck her from the side, put her in that position. When you're tired of that, take your dick out, mount her, and fuck her missionary style. If you want a blowjob after that, take your dick out of her, stick your dick in her mouth. When she's laying down, make her suck your cock. When you are dominating a woman in bed, she is nothing but an object that exists strictly for your enjoyment, and she loves this. She wants you to use your body. She wants you to want to fuck her. She wants you to move her. She wants you to contort her. She wants you to pin her down. She wants you to pin her legs back. She wants you to grab her arm. She wants you to twist her into whatever position you want her in. She wants you to lead her. She doesn't want you asking permission. She doesn't want you asking,
Does that feel good? Should I go faster or slower? Should we change positions?
No, man. She wants you to do whatever the fuck you want to do to her. And the only time she wants you to talk is when you're calling her the cock-sucking slut who lives for drinking your cum. The fourth element to dominating a woman's needs in bed, and yes, this is a recurring theme, guys, is to give absolutely zero fucks about her pleasure. Yes, gentlemen, I've said this twice already. Be 100% unabashedly selfish and pay no attention to what she wants. Those of you guys who have listened to me over the years, you guys know that I am a man who does not give a fuck about a woman's pleasure in bed. Now, I will admit, it hasn't always been that way. But I would say the last 6 to 7 years, I haven't given a single shit about whether or not I'm pleasing a woman in bed, guys. I said it once and I'll say it again for those of you guys who are just now watching. 95% of a woman's pleasure is tied to your pleasure. How do I know? Because if a woman doesn't make you come or thinks you didn't come, she'll go absolutely mental. Every single one of them, guys. As I said before, I have never ever lost a woman because of my selfish nature in bed. Not once. No woman has ever said to me, Donovan, all you do is call me names, pull my hair, leave marks on my ass, right? Bite my neck and pound the shit out of me. But we never do anything else, so I'm gone. Hasn't happened to me once. You never do anything I want to do. You don't lick my pussy, so I'm gone. Never lost a woman because of it. But the dude who's down there licking her pussy for 20 minutes, getting hair in his teeth, pussy juice in his beard, and is unselfish between the sheets, he's getting cheated on as we speak. Let me ask you a question. You think Kevin in sales gives a shit about a woman's needs in bed? Fuck no. You think Dave, the guitar player for the garage band, eats pussy? Hell no. You think Billy, the cocaine dealer, concerns himself with the subtle nuances of a woman's contours in her body to make sure she's feeling that euphoric pleasure? Fuck no, of course not. If you don't want to eat pussy, then don't eat pussy. Stop licking her clit and searching for the G-spot, man. Fuck that nonsense. Stop searching for her erogenous zones or trying some off-the-wall Kama Sutra move that you were told that's going to give her a 6-minute orgasm. Dude, fuck that. You're wasting your time. Women get pleasure out of giving a man pleasure. Women get satisfaction out of seeing satisfaction on a man's face after he's blown his load. Women get the pleasure of feeling a man's dick throbbing in her mouth while she swallows his loads, guys. Orgasms are to women as women are to men. They are both luxuries that elevate the experience, but not necessary. Every woman on the face of God's green earth would sacrifice her own orgasm to give a man one. Don't get it twisted, guys. This is the truth, whether they admit it or not. If she doesn't have an orgasm, but he shoots his load, good. The sex was good because he was satisfied. But if she squirts all over the place, but then he finds out that he didn't blow his load, she loses her fucking mind, guys. I keep talking about this because it's the truth. Dominant sex can only occur when you give absolutely zero fucks about a woman's needs in bed. Fuck her fucking orgasms. Do what the fuck you want. Otherwise, you'll end up driving yourself crazy, wondering why she's fucking Kevin in sales, who told you specifically that he never eats pussy. Great episode today, as usual. Tomorrow I'm going to be discussing what to do when shit goes sideways. Or actually, wait a minute, let me check. Hang on. I'm going to go back, check out what tomorrow's show topic is supposed to be about. Let's see here. All right. Topics. All right, there we go. All right. Yes. So tomorrow's episode is going to conclude my Build a Better Woman series. Getting her best, preventative measures, and getting her back in line. So tomorrow we're going to discuss how to get the most out of your woman. We're going to talk about some preventative measures, a little bit of maintenance, and we're going to talk about what to do when and if she gets out of pocket. If you see that things are headed towards disaster, what to do to get her back in line. So you guys certainly don't want to miss that. I'll bet some of you motherfuckers are probably thinking, I wonder if Donovan's going to look at the chat again. Negative. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, shit. Hang on a second. There we go. I hit the wrong button. It went back to the homepage. You know how that goes. But yeah, but a lot of you motherfuckers are probably in there thinking, I wonder if Donovan's going to look at the chat. And you guys probably think that I secretly do look at the chat. You guys see that I can see your insults? Wrong. The reason I'm able to put things in the chat without actually having to see the chat is because I have what's called the Stream Deck. I have these pre-programmed keys in here that allow me to put in become a patron, right? I just put that in there. Didn't have to look at the chat. So for all you trolls out there, fuck you guys. You guys can all go eat a dick. One thing I forgot to do before I went live was to mark this as adult, inappropriate, blah, 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 blah. I knew that I would be showing some sort of, imagery. I knew that I would be talking about some pretty hardcore stuff. So I'm going to make this an 18 or older episode. Guys, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Get the word out. Hopefully this thing continues to grow. Again, become a patron, guys. I'd appreciate the support. I'm going to be dropping a Patreon video a little bit later today on the difference between a shit test and disrespect. There are a lot of red pill guys who seem to think they know the difference, right? But they really don't. I'm going to break it down. Big thanks goes out to MG Verde. Said this is some good stuff. A refresher course for me. Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, a lot of us have known how to dominate women in bed for a long time. Sometimes you just kind of get away with it get away from it for whatever reason. Listen, every once in a while, even I slack off a little bit. It happens. Nobody's perfect. That goes. Great episode today, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of TSR Live. Be sure to go to patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. For all things Donovan Sharpe, go to donovansharpe.com. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.